What up, Troy? It's your boy Four Eyes, Ultra Beast United, Mud Knock Studios. This for grown men with the grown man habits. Well, how that sound? It's called OG status. What? OG status. When health is wealth, you want that OG status. Grown men with grown man habits, then come on down. We talking OG status. What? OG status. Plush life, so you know we lavish. The wisest king and shine like diamond rings. When it's time to put away childish things, my mind supreme, divine, refined and clean, pristine, getting green like lima beans. When adults are talking, listen and witness, from life and marriage into parenting and business. A podcast with entertainment, my favorite. We hold down the fort like Camp David. They made it for grown men with the grown man habits. Well, how that sound? It's called OG status. What? OG status. When health is wealth, you want that OG status. Grown men with grown man habits, then come on down. We talking OG status. What? OG status. Plush life, so you know we lavish.
Yo. Hey, this is OG Troy Niles. I'm here with OG status. And the reason I call myself OG is because of this fella right here. Say what's up.
What's going on?
What's going on? Can you hear him over there? Say it again.
Yo.
Yeah. So it's not often that I get the young OG, the young bull, as they call him, in the studio. And I just wanted to do a little father-son time online. And, you spent your whole life getting interviewed, so you know what it is. What do you think about that? Like you always say, living with me is like an interview.
Yeah.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
I mean by exactly what's happening right now. I thought we was going to have a conversation, and it's already turning into an interview.
Hey, check it out. Well, a lot of people look at our relationship as father and son, and they like it. Not adults, and even, some of your homies look at me as a pops and say, tell me what you think about the father-son relationship we have.
I think it's real unique, I definitely want to establish something very similar with my son one day.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm very lucky to have it. Everybody doesn't get to have it.
Yeah.
So,
I should feel happy about that, huh?
You should.
Because you told me the other day that you was like, hey, man, I'm happy with the way you raised me after you heard some of the stories of some of the family members.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I was looking back at some old video of me and you playing basketball. Let's see if I got it in here.
Which one? The one where I hit it from half court?
Well, the thing is, we used to stop and play basketball on the way to school, and we used to always be together. Then there came a point where people just weren't used to seeing us together, but now we're not together a lot. So where do you think our relationship is now that you're a grown man?
I think it's just evolving. You're a busy person. I'm a busy person. We don't stay under the same roof no more.
Yeah. So,
we always have something to do. Somebody has something to do. It's rare that we're both able to just sit down in the same room and just chill.
Yeah. Well, another thing you told me that when I was around, you were little Troy, but when I wasn't, you were like a man, and the people looked at you different. Was it just the women, or was the women and the men?
It's a little bit of both, mostly women.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm coming into my own. Like I have a name outside of yours, even though we got the same name.
Yeah. One of the things you did is you went to college a long way, and I thought that far away, 1,300 miles from home.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that was a way for you to create your own identity. How was that college experience living away from home for those 3 years?
It was good. It was interesting. I learned a lot of lessons, a lot of things I had to experience on my own. Like my first birthday away from home was 18. We always do the breakfast in bed and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But just little stuff like that, having to handle certain stuff that you would be there with me to handle. I had to do that by myself, And certain things we used to do together, like just going out to eat and kicking it, watching football and stuff,
Yeah.
Just had to do that with my friends up there.
You say had to, like I remember you would go to New York, you do a lot of traveling because you're on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But did you appreciate it? Like, do you look back on those days? Because you just seen your last college concert and you lit up. So how was that part of being away from home, becoming an adult?
I just feel like I had to do some growing up.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of great memories from that time. I learned a lot of important lessons, and I had to deal with a lot of important stuff, you know. had to take care of myself when I got sick, stuff like that. I didn't have to ask y'all to leave my dorm room or sneak up to New York for a little bit or
Yeah.
Baltimore, wherever I'm going.
Yeah. So what would you recommend? You went to college at 17. Do you think that was too early looking back? Would you recommend a person wait and go as a little bit older? Like what are your thoughts behind that? Because you were kind of concerned when you first left.
I was, and then I got there and I was like, all right, I'm gonna be all right. But no, I would say just go. Leave.
Yeah.
Like get out of really the state.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go to school, like get away.
Hey, so brother Jermaine from Austin, he was a great account. He said, "Seen you on Alter Ego, little bro. Congratulations."
Appreciate you.
So how was that? Here it was like this is what you've been trained to do your whole life.
Yeah.
You've had some small TV appearances. Tell me about the Alter Ego experience.
It was really crazy. It was really wild. I learned a lot about how to handle myself off the instrument. Stuff like that keeps you actually working on stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, the experience was crazy.
When you say off the instrument, what do you mean? Because you're a very talented drummer, but I've been hearing from industry insiders that talent is just a small part of it. Kind of explain to the people who don't understand, because as Black people, we've been taught we got to be twice as good as everybody else.
You just really got to be a good person. Like, do I want to be around you? Like, we get there, we get to the set at 9 a.m.
Yeah,
we don't leave till 11 at night. Like, am I cool with being around you all day? We probably played like 9 minutes of music per episode.
Really?
And each time we tape an episode, it goes on for about 6 hours. We in there all day, like everybody around you, it's got a good vibe. Nobody's tripping over nothing unless they're supposed to be tripping because they messed up on something,
Right.
Everybody's just good people.
Yeah. So what was it that prepared you? Because 9 minutes out of a 12-hour day, what is it prepared you for that level of musicianship as a young drummer?
I mean, just playing, knowing the music, being prepared,
right,
doing your craft.
But did you think that professional drumming was going to be 12 hours to play 9 minutes worth of music?
I kind of had an idea of that. Not really.
Yeah.
But in that specific situation, like doing something like a show like that, I wouldn't have thought that, but I should have known.
Yeah.
Because like even when we're in rehearsals, watching Adam like in them rehearse, like they're in rehearsals all day, but award shows are different than TV shows.
Okay.
It's a lot more music that's being played throughout the course of the show. And it's not the taping isn't, it's just like one day. You know? Like we shot 11 episodes.
So
like
you were there for like close to a month, right?
Yeah. So it's a lot of music over a more spread out time.
Gotcha.
You're doing something like an award show, it's a lot of music, but in one thing,
So did you see yourself doing a TV show before you did a tour? Was like TV part of your thing? Because I know you wanted to be on tour. I know you still want to be on tour. So like what was the TV? Was that?
I definitely wouldn't have thought that would have came first.
Yeah.
I'm glad it did because it taught me a lot of things that are going to help me when I do go on the road, just to be more considerate about certain things and, just making sure it's always a good hang. And I'm sorry, it's hard for me to like look at the camera.
It's okay. You can look anywhere you want to, son.
The camera. Okay.
Yeah. You've been on TV before, man. We'll make it do what it do. Just look wherever you want to look. You can look up in the sky. I remember one time when you were in the wedding band, you were in high school touring around the Southwest, and you had a 7-hour drive in a truck that didn't recline.
Yep.
You played for 3 hours. You turned around, drove back. Y'all rolled back 7 hours. Got up, did a church gig. They had to get up and do school the next day. So it's not like it's like very involved. And I asked you at that moment, is this something you still want to do after all that work? Because that's what professional musicianship is.
Yeah. That type of stuff is fun, especially at that age, like doing all that and then going to school. Like, yeah, it sucked that I had to go to school, but you know, a lot of kids don't get to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Talk about that experience of touring while you're in high school. Remember taking off to go play at Oklahoma State? You were like super like excited about that.
Man, it was fun, man.
Yeah.
You go to school all hyped and stuff, knowing you about to get pulled out of class, man.
Yeah.
And then especially the school I was going to Booker T. So I was there for my craft, you know, so being able to leave and do what I was doing and be able to come back, you know, you kind of feel like the man.
Yeah. So out of all those gigs, and for those who don't know, he was in a wedding band at 16. So I had to go because he didn't have a driver's license. We had to sneak him in the back door of clubs. And so I got to tour with him for a couple of years. So I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk about two things here. What was the favorite gig out of all those that you remember from that time period? I know what my favorite one was.
Definitely New Orleans.
Yeah.
That was a fun trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was fun about New Orleans?
The people.
Mm-hmm.
Had good people on the gig. It was fun playing music. We rode the tour bus.
Yeah.
So like we had our own little cots and stuff. We got to disappear a little bit, chill out.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. You about to say something else?
Yeah. I mean, just it was a little bit of drama. You remember how dude? He almost got jumped.
So you learned the lesson on how to not leave a band member behind because somebody almost got
I left you behind too.
Yeah, but like I'm a big dude. Like this dude was like a little dude. Yeah. And you know that's the difference of learning how to move in these cities, and that's something you've learned from being on the road. But I want to talk about on that tour. I remember I was going like every week.
You gonna talk about the one where I left you back?
Yeah. And I remember like it was yesterday because I think you were 17. We met up at the spot, packing the drums in, and then you text me and say, "Hey, Dad, I want to do this one by myself." Right? And I was like, "Okay, cool." I got off the bus, and then the people from the bus text me or call me from like 40 miles down the road looking for me. Yeah. And I was excited because, I knew you were growing up, right? But I also wanted to go on that tour because it was a tour. It was a cruise.
Yeah, we was on a boat.
It was a cruise. And man, I remember that. Like, I went home. I was like, "Yeah, cool. Well, okay, I'm cool." I went home and watched football, and then I didn't cry, nothing like that. I was like, man, my little homie has finally grown up. Now I don't go to none of the gigs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But just what made you do that? And was that hard for you? Because you sent me a text. You didn't like, "Hey, Dad, can you just go home?"
I mean, I was really just thinking. I was like, I don't know. I really didn't think too much about it, but I was just like, I kind of want to just see how it is.
You wanted to see it for yourself, right?
Yeah. I wanted to see what it felt like. And then we was on the boat. You feel me? So I didn't know what to expect. So I was like, let's try it out.
So you left me. That was Strick. Strick has some questions. He said, name some advice or lesson you got from your pop you never thought was useful until you got to adulthood.
It's kind of hard. I feel like most of the advice you've given me, it's kind of proved itself useful before I became like an adult.
Right.
Just from dealing with, because like I lived a little bit of a different life, so I had to deal with different circumstances at a younger age.
Yeah.
Even just working with the corporate band, like I'm the youngest dude in there for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
I had to deal with a lot of grown people and their grown people ways.
Yeah.
But trying to get them to see me as somebody, like as a young man. I wasn't a man, but
yeah. I think the struggle was you were a child, you played like an adult, you wanted to be seen like an adult, but you still wanted to be like
have childish ways.
You wanted to have childish ways. I didn't want to say it, but it was like because you did some childish
ways. Like what?
Well, just like not knowing how to manage the conflict that you might have had with other band members at the time because you were 16. Like these people were 30. This is what they were doing. You know what I'm saying?
I think my thing about it was I didn't have no conflict. They would just be talking. Mm-hmm. And it's not like I ever did anything about it. It's just like, oh, I don't like you, so I'm not going to interact with you. That's how it kind of was from my end. But like, they would be like physically. Can I cuss?
Yeah, bro.
They would be talking shit. And so it's like I might be 16, but
you catch these hands.
I throw hands.
Gabe said he'd love to see it. He'd hope to be as dope as you when I get older. I wonder if you talk about me or you. Probably talk about me because I'm the OG. And he has a son named Kai who's 10, a basketball player.
Okay.
Right. When was the time that you first beat me in basketball and how did you feel about that? Do you remember?
Maybe not the first time I beat you in basketball, but I do remember we went to the park that we would normally go to. I think it was a Saturday.
Yeah.
It was a little cloudy outside.
Oh, so you remember the whole condition.
I was wearing a gray t-shirt with the sleeves cut off. I think some red shorts. Yeah. And for some reason, you thought it was a good idea to play one-on-one full court.
Yeah, I do remember that. What was your recollection of that? I
just remember how it ended. It ended with you on your back on the court.
Wow. You gonna just throw me under the bus like that?
You took a picture. I think it's on Facebook somewhere.
It may be. Gabe, I know you was talking about me, OG. I mean, Gabe. But I will say this. What advice now that you're like, because you mentor younger drummers, right? Mm. And I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna get a little mushy if you don't mind. Right? So I went to your birthday party and I seen how emotional your friends were, particularly AD. AD is how old?
16.
He's 16. He's like the little brother you never had, right? And he gave you a tribute, and then he kind of broke down in tears and gave you a long hug that men from my generation, we don't like hug each other like that.
Man, I broke down.
I know you broke down too. I was gonna let you tell them. Right. But what is it about your friendships that you value so much that you guys can become emotional? Like men from my generation are not good at expressing our feelings. Like, yo, what's up, dog? But you guys actually say, man, I love you, dog, or I love you, man. And you guys, embrace each other.
I just feel like we're on a new wave. And then I'll talk about me and AD specifically because you have pictures of when we first met. Like, yeah, that was my little chicken nugget, my little guy.
Your homie.
Yeah.
And now he's your height.
He's about to be taller than me, man.
Yeah. And at 16, like you needed an AD because at 16, he's probably further ahead of you than what you were at 16, right?
For sure.
Talk about that.
He worlds away.
So
he ain't even nothing to talk about. He just
so he got next, huh?
Got next.
He got now, huh?
He got now.
So talk about y'all relationship and how, because you don't have a brother. You've always wanted a brother. And I take the blame for not giving you a brother. But you got Eric and you got AD. And I those two are like your closest ones. But AD is younger. So talk about y'all's relationship as he's, I see you guiding him through school and helping him become a better person, better drummer, and so forth and so on.
I mean, bringing it back to friends, since I never had a brother, like, excuse me, my close friends and like my cousins that I fuck with,
the
boy ones, pause. But I treat them like brothers because they are my brothers, So I mean, especially with AD, he's probably like 11 when we met, something like that.
Yeah.
Because I was probably like 16 or 17 at that time. I got to see him grow,
Yeah.
Got to see him come into himself, get taller, and really just develop his style.
Uh-huh.
And then, we just look alike.
You do look alike.
So
I had to make sure that boy wasn't your son. I'm glad I know his dad. His dad.
I'd be pulling up to 7-Eleven like back in the day when he was like a lot shorter than me. And people would ask me that.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, yeah, that's your son? Like, nigga, do I look old enough to have a son this old?
So, like, what is it that, like, you said it's a new thing. You guys really have a true friendship. Like, what do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that.
Okay.
It just kind of happens how it happens.
Yeah.
And like with me and AD, it was instant. We hung out that one time. I think he had came with me to fellowship because I was playing at Grapevine.
Yeah.
So, just that whole day, it was just like, okay, like this dude is kind of like a little clone. I got up there like how Adam would And Brian and all them would let me sit on the kit and stuff like that. You know, I let him sit on the kit, mess around for a little bit. He didn't want to go sit in the crowd. He sat in the back, like on the stage, like on the steps, because I was on like a real high riser and like a glass like kind of dome type deal. He sat on them little back steps even during the actual show.
During the service.
Yeah, the stuff that I used to do.
Yeah.
You know, so we just clicked on every level.
So I want to talk about drums again a little bit. You grew up playing in church where you had the opportunity to play, but then you moved from, gospel to CCM. In other words, you moved from black church to white church, and then back. So what was the difference? What did you learn at each? And what do you recommend people pay attention to as they're developing their career as a drummer, gospel drummer, pop drummer, rock drummer?
Well, I made a couple switches in between. It wasn't just a black church to CCM. It was because at that time I was at Booker T. So it was kind of like black church. Now I'm starting to hear jazz and stuff.
Yeah.
Fusion. That's right around. Got in the Snarky Puppy. That's right around when they started popping off. That's right when I got to Booker T. Mike Mitchell's there.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that. Obviously, I grew up playing R&B music and stuff like that. But like just being influenced by multiple genres that I wasn't really listening to or really had any knowledge of. Yeah. And then going to CCM. So like black church, they want you to pop the snare hard at all times.
Yeah.
When you get to shouting, get kind of crazy, get a little hectic. They don't mind you being all over the place at times,
right,
and showing your ass a little bit. But then you go to CCM, and I think you remember this. I was they brought me on perk, and I was on perk for a few months.
Yeah.
And then they let me play a Christmas service on drums, and we was practicing after one of the some type of rehearsal. You was right there, and I knew the songs, and I'm just doing my thing. I'm playing. And I think it was Jamil. No, it wasn't Jamil. It was Ivan.
Yeah.
He stops the track. He says, "Man, like all that stuff you're doing is great. It's really good. It sounds good, but that's not what we want."
Right.
And so like it taught me how to be less is more.
Gotcha. Placement.
Yeah. Less is more. Where you put it makes all the difference. Instead of just showing me you can do it, like make it musical, make it make sense.
Yeah. I get, as a father of a drummer, to this day, I still get people sending me inboxes of people and young kids playing drums all over the place. And I don't say nothing but, oh man, that's good. But tell them what pocket gets you paid means.
It means exactly that. Pocket gets you paid.
Yeah. So all those.
If you make the music feel good.
Yeah.
And you hold it down because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
For the music, you're supposed to be,
Guess who chimed in?
Who?
Tommy Newhouse said pocket.
Yeah,
talk about your relationship with Tommy Newhouse. Tommy Newhouse is a friend of mine that you got to do more work with. Talk about brother Tommy.
Man, brother Tommy, always welcoming. Called me up, came through for him, man. Kept me around.
Yeah.
Made me introduce me to new friends, new opportunities.
Yeah. But for me, it was like when you went over to the CCM world, you learned how to play with a click track.
Yeah.
You learned how to play as a team, you learned how to clock. But when you get back to where Tommy was, you learned how to play feeling. It come from your heart. And I think that's what a lot of churches and organizations can't replicate in that black church is that feeling that you get when you become part of the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what you get any comment on that, or that's just that's real?
It is real. I feel like where I was at, it brought me back to feeling.
Yeah.
Because playing a lot of CCM, it had me feeling a little robotic.
Gotcha.
Not too robotic, because I'm still playing with feeling. I'm just dialing in very like specific things.
Yeah.
But it had me. I felt like I was lacking a little bit creatively.
Gotcha.
Almost at times. So
the balance is good to have both then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you need both.
Yeah. Tommy said he loves from Troy and Troy. He calls us both Troy. So, well, look, man. Tommy said he's not a big fan of CCM.
I like it.
What do you like about it?
They just know how to create a moment.
Okay, like speak on
Like
it.
they know how to create a moment. I feel like there's a better phrase than black churches.
Yeah, I'm just saying gospel. Say gospel.
Gospel. Like they're good at creating a moment, but it's like gospel hits different when you kind of like run and turn into a moment, you know, where like it evolves to a moment.
Gotcha.
Like I feel like CCM, like they know how to just make that moment.
They build it in.
Like they construct that moment.
What's that organ player at the church that Tommy had you in South Dallas?
Anton.
I remember the first time you guys played, and he hadn't played with you. It was the first time you played, but I seen you guys talking in that unwritten language, but then I seen him look like, yo, I got me a player. And you guys just ran and created the whole moment and brought the service to a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. What is that? And how do you teach that?
You can't teach it.
Oh, that's it? You can't teach it?
No, you can't teach it. It's something you gotta, that's what black church do for you.
Gotcha. That's when, it's like that emotion.
Know how to flow.
Yeah.
Together. And
how to listen
in the moment. Listening plays a big part of it, but it's about the flow of it.
Okay. So what would you recommend as a 23-year-old young professional musician? What would you recommend to the 8-year-old kid or whose parents are trying to get them to the point where you are to choose music as a living and be very active? Like how would you move them as a young man right now?
I would say explore. Figure out what you like, figure out what you're good at, figure out what you're not good at. Maintain what you're good at. Explore what you like, and work on what you're not good at. Okay.
So you know what this means when I say last question. You know what that means? What that mean?
It's not the last question.
Cool. As long as you know. You spoke earlier about alter ego and being a better person off the kit. And in some of the conversations we're having, you're talking about being a better person, a better man. What are some of the things that you do or your friends or you guys are working on to become better? Because you guys are all amazing musicians, right? You guys work on that. That seems like the easy part for you guys. Am I making that up?
No.
So what are you doing to become better? What's the process of becoming better?
Just expanding on what we already got, going back to the basics as well, just repetition.
Well, I'm talking about as a better man, not a better musician.
Oh, I'm sorry. I looked at my phone, kind of tuned out in the middle of the question.
I understand.
I'm sorry.
That's why it's not the last question, because you're not paying attention, son. And you said listening was very important, right?
It is very important.
And so you have to listen and stay focused, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got any lessons? Some of the lessons that I've given you, was that one of them?
Probably.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about just not listening right in the middle of this thing?
Well, I mean, I got a little distracted.
Okay.
Something pop up on my phone. It's all good.
Tommy says he plays for free. It's the preparation and the rehearsal that cost.
I agree with what he's saying, but I feel like it's different for drummers. Because I play for free. I get paid to load in and load out. That's what I get paid to do.
So you the first one there, the last one to leave, huh? How's that feel?
Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it sucks.
Okay. So back to the question. What are you doing? Or what are your friends doing? How does a young man keep his way pure? How does a young man get better? I don't know. I just said some church stuff.
Get better at being a man?
Yes.
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. Because I know you're working out. I know you're trying to eat better. Meditation, prayer. Trying to become better. Like, is it hard with all these hoes out here throwing it at you?
Man, I'm just trying to stay consistent and doing what I need to do to get to the next level.
Yeah. So I gave you advice about staying away from girls, right? Not like in a weird way, but I said, hey man, focus on yourself for the next 5 years. And then when you get where you're going, the women you meet there will have made a similar sacrifice. How are you holding up on that? Because you didn't do that shit. When you went off to college and fell right in love, like, how are you doing now on the relationship side? Are you listening to your dad on that part?
Yeah, I'm definitely listening to you right now on that part.
So what's first in your life? Like, is it, I mean, outside of God and your mom and them, is it drums, your career, like, or is like these women
Drums.
chasing you? What is it? Talk to me.
Drums.
Are you on Tinder?
No.
Bumble?
No.
Plenty of Fish?
Hell no.
I don't know any Christian Mingle?
No, but I will tell you a story, man. We was at Booker T, and we just went on there just to look at the usernames, man. The usernames are fucked up on there.
On Christian Mingle? Like what? Lee Mo from Philly said she's laughing at you.
No, they're like fucking crazy. Like they're disgusting.
Like how?
Like it's like Bible references morphed into sexual
like spare not the rod,
Yeah.
67,
type,
69.
type shit, but like a little worse.
Yeah. So, you know, Lee Mo in here laughing. She's the Philly chick. She's out in LA or was out in LA. Do you miss Philly? Or are you LA guy? Like you Texas boy? What is it?
I love Cali.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily miss Philly as like the city,
Mm-hmm.
but I do miss some of the people I met, some of the experiences I have. Like I think back or look back on like little memories and stuff.
Yeah.
I do miss some of that stuff.
What's the difference in the music scenes? What's the difference like? Because I always hear about the Philly cats back in the day. It was like fire. But then we went up there and it was kind of for a young man because you weren't 21.
Yeah.
Compared to in Dallas where you could be 15 and playing down in Deep Ellum. What's the music scene like? What's the difference?
I would say the difference is I feel like it's a lot more cliquey
There or here?
up there.
Okay.
It's like you'll still be able to get in those rooms, but it just depends on who you know. And since I'm not one to like really just be out here like name dropping for no reason.
Yeah.
Because like I'm really related to
the king of Philly.
The one. So, like, but like, you know.
What's the pressure of being first cousins with and Lee Mo is still out in LA. I know she out there loving it. But what's the pressure? The pluses and the pressure of being, you know, having the same grandmother as Adam Blackstone.
I can't not make it. I can't not be.
So that's pressure?
Yeah. I would argue it's more pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because people reporting back too.
Yeah, I don't think people think about that.
Yeah.
Like they think everything is like peaches and cream, but it's like, nah, nigga, because like I gotta lift up his name. That sound like
wow.
like I gotta make him not look stupid for putting me on a gig over somebody else.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. That nepotism.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how have you dealt with that?
The easiest way to deal with it is just put your head down and keep working.
Yeah. So how was your legendary first? Lee say she appreciate this exchange. And it really not, you know, and thank you, Lee. And we appreciate each other. And I know a couple of people like Tommy who have this kind of exchange with his father, but he's not a media producer like myself. You know what I'm saying? But talk about the Bbe rehearsal process. How was that? Because that's not easy.
It's not. You just gotta be prepared.
Yeah.
And then be professional.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. It's long days. You know, everybody gets tired. Everybody get a little cranky.
Yeah.
Everybody needs some Cheetos every once in a while.
Yeah. Cool. Well, look, son, I said the last question was the last question. I'm really going to let you off the hook because we about to go get something to eat, right?
I'm hungry.
I appreciate you stopping by because sometimes we feeling like you be like not coming through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm just playing. I really enjoy that you have become your own person because people are so used to seeing us being tied at the hip.
I feel like people are just now getting used to not seeing that.
Yeah.
And if if they're still kind of surprised by that, then that lets you know like when the last time they was really around us.
Gotcha. Now I know Jasmine and Lishay said people always say, "I'm gonna go tell your dad." Do you get that too?
I get that about you. I get that about Jasmine.
Yeah.
It's really y'all too.
How was the first time when someone didn't realize that you were grown and seen you drinking and then say, "Hey, I'm gonna tell your dad you're out here drinking"?
That pretty sure that happened like at my 21st birthday party.
Oh, okay.
Or like right after, like y'all wasn't in the room, or like a couple days after.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like, bro, I'm 21, bro.
I thought it was real funny when it's your 23rd birthday. You said if your name is not Troy or Tamara, you can stay. In other words, you kicked me and your mom out of the party. What was that about?
Man, I just wanted to have a good time, man. I made sure I included y'all
in the beginning,
in the celebration.
You had us on the PG,
in the main part,
on the PG side.
Yeah,
yeah. And then when it turned all the way up,
yeah,
we had to go.
Yeah.
Did I have to leave too?
Not really, but how would that look if I just kick mom out and let you stay? Yeah. That would be a good look.
All right, man. Well, look, hey, thanks for everybody for joining us. This is it is very hard getting this guy on video because he grew up with a camera in his face and he started hating the interviews. I look back at the old interviews and he actually liked them.
I did.
He liked them. So now we just took 36 minutes out of his day and he's still here. And maybe can I invite you back or you gonna come back?
I mean, I got to wash clothes in a couple of days.
Oh, so yeah. So that's one thing when your kids get grown, things like dish detergent, they don't like buying that. You know what I'm saying? And so they will come and use your dish detergent.
Especially when I got a surplus of it. Matter of fact, you just reminded me. I'm going to take a couple things of toilet paper when I leave.
So, when you get grown, you have toilet paper and stuff like that, because we buy it in bulk, because it runs out. But young men, like at your apartment or your house, what's your refrigerator look like compared to ours?
It probably look roughly the same.
Really?
I stay with white people though.
Hey, who cook?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have that discussion later. How is it having
Shout
a white
out to
room?
my white boys, Leo. I love y'all, man.
And one of them plays amazing bass. He plays bass at a black church.
That's my guy.
Yeah, Ant. And then Liam's like a sound man, right? So you're in a house.
Guitar too. We're actually in a band called Secure the Sun.
Secure the Sun?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like some white folk shit.
Yeah, should be lit though. Working on the I think it's an EP.
Yeah,
it's gonna be nice. Look out for that.
Okay. All right, man. Well, look. Anything you want to say before we get up on out of here?
What's that prayer you used to say before we eat? Jesus what?
All right, man. We out of here. OG status.